Hello everybody, we're officially live. And it's been a bit since we've touched this painting. I'm a little bit low energy tonight. Just a little heads up because I don't know, it's been a long day. I've been waking up so early with my daughter it's been awesome. She's been going to bed early. And she's also been waking up super early, which means my days are extra long because my streams are set late at night. And so I'm just, I've been trying to make my time in my shop a little bit shorter, but I also don't want to keep adjusting the hours and everything. So yeah, I will be pretty low energy tonight. Just a heads up on that one. Alright, so we got our old setup back, and it's time to get started on this painting again. So, something that I noticed after the paint dried, you can't really see it so well through the camera lens, but something that I noticed is that a lot of the gray is actually still showing through, and it doesn't look too good in person. On the camera it looks a little bit better, but there is some like dinginess to the color. It's not as saturated as I want it to be, but maybe we'll get back into that. Maybe we'll focus on things like the seaweed and then just kind of move into that again, but that's okay because we're really only on the second layer of paint. And honestly, it takes several layers before anything is close to completion. Oh, there she is. You were the winner of the last live stream's giveaway, which is awesome. And your prize should actually arrive on Friday, hopefully. I have actually had some trouble with the postal service as of late. A couple of packages that I sent in my last massive batch before like shutting everything down, that stuff like mostly got to where it needed to go, but a couple of them actually got lost in transit, which is very disheartening. But yeah, I'm keeping a close eye on it. On the tracking. Just want to make sure it keeps moving along because I have not had such good luck lately. But yes, good morning. So is it morning there for you? I imagine it's probably already somewhere past midnight. Yeah, I'm so excited. I'll let you know when it gets here. Awesome. Well, that's good. Thank you. Thank you for taking the time to do that, and thanks so much for entering the giveaway. It was a lot of fun. I had so much fun, and it was just really cool watching everybody just like roll for numbers. I had a blast. I hope everybody else did too. I think we should start mixing up some like greens, like really nice vivid seaweed greens. Ooh. That'll be fun. Yes, yes. 2:06. Oh, wow. See, 2 o'clock is when I end my stream here, and boy, I'm already tired. It's 11 o'clock, but I've been waking up super early with my daughter. She wakes up before 6 now, so I have to be awake early in the morning, just as the sun rises, really. And then I'm up now, and so I'm just a little bit, tired. I feel like I'm gonna crash pretty heavy tonight. I had a little bit of coffee. Not a lot though, because I wanted to be able to actually sleep when I finally get to. So I'm kind of wondering, what kind of brush should I be using for? Perhaps I should be focusing more on the those little seaweeds in there. So maybe something kind of small, but not really super small. I have to look around at my little brush collection here. I wish you guys could see all of that. Oh, this one will do just alright. I think actually a rounded one, like a filbert. Oh yeah, filbert would probably do better. This one's a little bit frayed though. Look at it. It's kind of soft, but that's okay. The little frays will kind of go away as I actually wet the brush. Then it should kind of go into a nice little, more of a pointed end. So let's get some green mixed up. We're going to mix up a really nice green, and I'm going to use cyan for this green in particular because it just makes it so much more vibrant. I'm kind of wondering if I want to use my neon green, but I don't know if I really want to do that yet. The coffee! Oh, the coffee! I love coffee so much, trust me. I'm so horrible. I drink it all the time, day in and day out. I'm just drinking coffee endlessly. It's horrible, but it's also awesome. My first cup of coffee, my first 2 cups of coffee for the day, I feel amazing. The feeling that it gives me is like such a boost. I can't really describe it all too well, but it is really such a good feeling when I drink my coffee. I don't know really much else that just gives me a boost like that. And it just makes me like feel this like happiness that comes out of nowhere. It's like caffeine, yeah, caffeine is caffeine. We all like to have a little bit of a boost and kind of wake up when we're feeling dreary, but something about that first cup of coffee really actually makes me just feel pure bliss. Like, it's almost like the hormones in my brain just say, yes, drink it all day. This is what you need. And obviously, I shouldn't drink it all day, but you know I do. I gotta stay awake. Oh yes, coffee is so good. I'm definitely a big coffee drinker. I was a big coffee drinker, but I never really had Starbucks or anything like that until I started working there. And when I worked there for a little while, I was like drinking more coffee in my entire life than I ever have, ever, because I was exposed to it. I was around it all the time, and that was just kind of how it was, you know. I was just always around the coffee. What are you gonna do, really? What are you gonna do? I still can't get over how you won the giveaway. Like, okay, it was like if you count up all of the numbers that were included in that like lucky roll, it's like 61. So it has to like, I made it so that it would come within 30 of the target number, and you rolled literally the target number. So it was like, so it was more of a like a 1 in 61 chance. I was just so surprised. Like, cause you only got one shot, you know? It's crazy. I just can't get over that, dude. I was raving about it all weekend. I was just like pretty stoked about that. Of all of the numbers that you could have rolled, it was 500. We have a small local coffee shop here that I'm in love with. Nice! That sounds really cool. I like the little local ones. We have one here called Honeycut Coffee. And I went in there to apply when I first moved out here. And unfortunately, I didn't get a job there. Instead, I was working at the casino nearby. That's where I actually found employment, which was great. It was a really good, it was a very, very busy atmosphere, but I really enjoyed it. Yeah, and when I went into the local place, I mean, I, I ordered, what did I order? I think I ordered like a caramel latte or something, just some iced latte, and it was really good. I haven't really like gone in there much though, and it's just a nice little place. And there are rumors that they are now like selling alcohol, which is so silly. My husband heard that from his barber for some reason. They were just talking about that, and he was like, did you know that like apparently? I was like, no, and I guess it's a really recent thing. I don't really know. But I guess that's, they're trying to up their business, maybe probably because of the pandemic and everything like that, just kind of shutting everything down, and they're trying to stay in business any way that they can, which seems like a kind of a counterintuitive move from a business standpoint. But you know, I could be wrong. I am not an expert in these things, really. Ours is called A Rise. It's good coffee and good people. Nice. Peppermint mocha is my go-to. You know what, Erin, you seem like a peppermint mocha type of person, which is awesome. We had a lot of regulars at Starbucks who love the peppermint mocha, and just year round. I mean, because it was obviously, it's kind of more of a seasonal holiday sort of thing, but it doesn't have to be. It is really good though. And I will say that I was doing peppermint mocha for a little bit as well. Yeah, peppermint mocha. You ever do white mocha? Ever a fan of the white chocolate? I think that I really like the white chocolate. I like white chocolate. Mochas, they're just a bit more sweet. I have white the sweet tooth though, which is why I like it. Man, this whole painting, it's gonna take so long, but I am happy to do it. This is kind of like my blissful place. Thanks. That doesn't sound like a bad thing to me. Not at all. Not at all. We would, so funny. I would get to a point, like after a few years of doing the barista thing, I got to a point where it's like I could, with some pretty decent accuracy, kind of guess what people would order as far as like size and like their flavor and everything like that. Just what they like. Do they have a sweet tooth? Do they like just plain black coffee? Of course, I was never 100%, but I was pretty good at guessing. I know that's kind of like stereotyping, but and obviously it's not a one-size-fits-all sort of thing, so I couldn't guess in all scenarios, but more often than not, I had gotten to a point where I could kind of guess people's flavors, which actually helped me out a lot, because there were quite a lot of people who were very indecisive and hadn't really tried anything before, and so I would kind of lean people into what they would ultimately end up really liking, and then they become regulars. So like, I would generally like ask a question. I would start off with I would kind of aim for it so like people would have kind of like a look where like they could go either way, and anywhere that I felt like it was kind of a gray area for me, like I didn't know, I would ask questions like, do you like sweet stuff? Are you a big sweet tooth type of person? Do you like fruity, or do you like coffee? Like, you know, you kind of ask those questions and then lead them into what they end up liking. And just had a really good time doing that. Doing the barista thing was a lot of fun for me. I miss it. I really do. That's why I talk about it so much. It was a pretty good time. Coffee and white chocolate. Yes! Girl, that is my favorite. Right there. Toffee and white mocha. When I worked at Panera, I would drink a massive amount of iced coffee until I learned they never cleaned the equipment. Ew! What? Wow. My husband worked at Panera Bread too. He never told me that they never cleaned the coffee equipment though. That sounds disappointing, dude. You know, actually it was kind of the same when I was working at the casino too, 'cause oh my gosh. So like at the Harazakchin casino, when I was beverage serving, I learned, like, so we would serve these free drinks to people. If you were sitting at a slot machine and you like ordered like a coffee or something, it's complimentary. You can order it, and a tip is not mandatory, but generally, like, you know, people would tip like $1 or something, but it's not in the price. Like there's no price for coffee. Basically, you just, you know, you can sit there and order coffee all day and not pay a dime. Well, like they would like replace the coffee, and the coffee was like this instant coffee that came in like these bags. There were these big, like, kind of watery, mushy bags that you put in the machine, you load it up, and then it like brews it, which is in the coffee machine. It was disgusting. If you like pulled it out, it looked like it should have been infested with roaches or something. I don't know. It was disgusting. It was repulsive. Oh my god, I could do that at most. People would come in and we would try to guess what they wanted. Yeah, ours never did what I never did. I was disgusted and never drank coffee after that. Ew, I'm so sorry. Well, not from Panera anyways. That's so nasty. I probably wouldn't either. Gosh, it sounds really bad. I don't think I could stomach that, to be honest. Maybe even out of desperation. I'm not really sure, like, that I would not just, like, go through my shift tired, you know, at that point. You can't even enjoy your coffee, you know, it's just not even worth it at a certain point. Like, oh my gosh, that sounds so gross. Yeah, there comes a point where it's just no longer worth it. Yep. Well, my husband had this idea to take us, me, his mom, and my daughter. We all went to this place here called the Idea Museum. And it was a really cute little place. I mean, it was great for my little girl, for her to run around and and play with other kids and stuff like that. And gosh, ever since I've gotten the vaccine, I've been like taking her out every day. So it's just, it feels nice. Like I feel really free to be able to do that, and it's just really, really nice just to not have to worry. Because trust me, I am such a worrywart. So now she gets to play with other kids and stuff, and like today she got to play with like 3 other little girls who were right around her age, and it was just such a blast. A couple of hours, but it was so hot outside. Oh my gosh, she wanted to stay outside. It wasn't really that bad in comparison to like how it gets here, but it was 105 today, and it was just a little bit roasty toasty, and I kind of was wiped out after that. We were outside for a couple hours. It makes me wonder, how the heck did I live without air conditioning for a couple of years? I mean, of course, I should know because I dealt with that, but like, but I don't like, I couldn't go back. I could not go back to that. That was so awful. It's so hot out. And she was just being a tough little cookie, man. It was like, it took her to like actually want to go back home. It took her running out of water from her sippy cup to actually want to go back home, and it was hot outside. It was like, not too fun to run around and play in, but you know what? She did anyways, and she enjoyed it, so. Who am I to say? I don't know. Too hot out. Too much. And then next week on Tuesday, the forecast here says 117. So we're getting back up to those 120 degree weather patterns again pretty soon here, and I'm not looking forward to it at all. Yeah, I bet. AC is almost essential when you live in the hot states. Oh yeah. I mean, we got like, at that time, we had a swamp cooler, but we could only run it between certain hours, like 7 p.m. I think to, I can't remember, 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. So like as soon as, it was like something to do with the electric bill at the place, and just like the way that they had it set up where they charged like far less just to run it in between those hours. So we were all trying to save money, and it was miserable. I just like laid on the tile floor and just like I was just laying on the tile floor just being miserable. I just remember that. It was not fun. Yeah, I could not go back. It's pretty bad. And of course, our AC out here, like, we got our unit completely replaced last year, which is great. And it's all under warranty because, well, first of all, we just bought the home, so that's awesome. And then, well, it was like kind of in the nick of time because our landlords took care of that cost, and it would have been so much money. But yeah, so that broke down like, I think like 2 or 3 years in a row, and then they replaced the unit last year. So now we have a new unit this year. And like so far so good. It hasn't broken down or anything. We're just, you know, we're holding on though, cause like we don't know yet. Like we're counting our blessings, cause The summers are harsh, and like we haven't really had the best luck with like the air conditionings. And air conditionings breaking out here is a pretty common thing considering they have to chug so hard. So, especially if they're set pretty low, you know. It's nice to be working on the painting again, though. I will say that. It's been a bit. Me as a kid laying on the tile floor with my Game Boy or book, that was pretty much my summer. Yeah, you know, same here. I really liked to just play video games on the floor. It is true, I did that a lot. My dad didn't like that. He didn't like that I played video games, but, you know. Here I am playing video games as an adult. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Can't do anything, so. Yep. Yeah, he wasn't a fan of that. Especially since, like, their house was just so hot all the time too, because they left like doors open and stuff, and I was just like, why would you do that in the summer? And they had the swamp cooler too. Like that was a different place though. Like that was like before I was an adult and before I moved out. Gosh, nostalgia, man. I used to like to, I just remember, I used to like to play my Game Boy Advance for a bit. I do remember I played my Game Boy Color a lot, but I think the only things I really played on my Game Boy Color were, let's see, Pokemon games, like some pinball game. I played, what else did I play on my Game Boy Color? I don't think I really had much for the Color. I did have a few games for the original Game Boy, I remember. But those ones were kind of stupid, like Looney Tunes, or not Looney Tunes, Tiny Toons. I had Tiny Toons and Caesar's Palace, apparently. My first video game, get this, my first video game was Caesar's Palace, and I was 3 years old. My parents obviously got that for them to play, but they disguised it as a gift for me. It was not a gift for me. I was 3 years old. Do you think I knew anything about gambling? My mom just kind of let me. I mean, I was also that odd kid that would watch History Channel or Animal Planet by choice, and I've always loved to read. That's awesome! See, this is why we get along, because I'm all about the science stuff, and the only stuff that I liked to read about, like I would go to the library and I would check out a ton of books, but I never really read any fantasy. I would never occupy my brain with fantasy books, like the popular ones, like Harry Potter and stuff, because I just wasn't interested in the storytelling. What I really, really liked was books on, I liked mycology, but I really mostly liked entomology. So the study of bugs. So like books that talked about just arthropods and bugs in general, and just reading about them and just all the science behind it, and just learning about the actual just learning about arthropods and things like that. That was my jam, dude. I had so many entomology books growing up, but all my books, like my entire collection of books, and also most of the plushes that I had growing up, they're all lost to a fire. We had a fire in my primary parents, like the home of my mom and my stepdad, they were the ones who had like most custody of us growing up, and so a lot of my stuff was still actually at that house. It's such a bummer, dude. I'm so like when I think about it, it's kind of a bummer. Yeah, but I had some pretty cool books. I had some really fun entomology books. I had books on dragons. I had like a huge box of just books. I couldn't even move it as an adult, you know? Like it was so heavy. I had so many books. But I never got to bring it over to the house because there was that house fire and we lost it all. Yeah. It's too bad. I did recover some things from that house, but when I went back to go see it, it was all in soot and ashes. I loved the American Girl books. Learning about other cultures with fun stories was my jam. OMG, same. My American Girl dolls were lost in a fire. Oh no! Your first game was Pokemon Yellow. That's awesome. I want to say my second game. No, it wasn't my second game because I had other games on Super Nintendo and stuff before that. Another funny one, another hilarious one. My parents definitely got it for them, not for me. And this was after Caesar's Palace. Then they got me Cool World. Have you heard of Cool World? It's like this animated. It's kind of like the realistic live action mixed with animated. Kind of like that, kind of like Who Framed Roger Rabbit or Space Jam kind of style. Like it's like got the cartoons mixed with reality. Well, that was a movie, and then they got the Super Nintendo game based on that movie. For me, once again, I was a toddler, and that game is just impossible for anybody, let alone a toddler. So they definitely did not get that game for me. Also, there's like this, like, a literal, like, a sex worker that's like on the cover, so like clearly that's like not kid friendly. Like, oh my gosh. It's so ridiculous. Alright, so we made this part green. We're gonna have to go over a lot of this, I think, but I think like laying down the base colors and stuff and then going over it, I think that's kind of what I want to do. So that's good. I'm good with that. Man, that sucks. It sucks when you lose all your stuff in a fire. Like, not to say that that's a super common problem. It kind of is. It's more common than it should be. You know, I am very fortunate that nobody was hurt. We are very fortunate that nobody was hurt in the fire. Nothing happened to anybody. No pets were harmed. Nothing really. Yeah, nobody was hurt. So that's the most important thing. And that was the first question because I wasn't living there at the time. So I was really freaked out when I heard the news when it got around to me, right? I learned about it through a family member, and nobody was home at the time, and my mom had actually taken the pets out, like, to go stay with somebody or something. I don't know. It was all kind of weird. That was a little bit suspicious to me, but you know what? Like, whatever. Looking past that, right? It was just, the whole thing was It's like surreal to me. It's almost like it didn't happen. Oh boy. Same, but mine was a true horror story. Oh no. And nobody was hurt, right? It's horrible. That's really awful. Kind of afraid to know, you know? Let's see. So far, this is looking pretty awesome. It's looking pretty much the way that I wanted it to. I was about 10 or 11 and my parents were gone and it was my older brother and me and my little sister and we still don't know how it started. Oh my gosh. You guys were home when it happened. Oh my gosh. Probably an electrical fire. Nobody like came to take a look for like insurance or anything like that. That is really nuts. That's really crazy. I can't imagine being just like a young kid and just being traumatized by that. I remember there was a horrible incident where all I can really remember is I didn't see this. I was not a witness. But like one of my classmates in 4th grade, her family, their home burned down and think I think somebody was in the hospital. I don't think that anybody passed away, but I do remember like there was some serious trauma. The kid had to be pulled from the class for a little bit. It was a really strange thing. I just remember I wasn't a friend with this kid. I didn't really know them. I think they transferred classes or something. I don't know. But the poor kid was traumatized. Oh my gosh, Gammy loves Robin. Hello. But I called 911 and they accused me of prank calling and they hung up. Really? Before a neighbor called out and they finally sent a truck. Oh my gosh. Really? Okay, so like that reminds me, like actually prank calling. I can tell you just firsthand that it has to be a problem because um in my cul-de-sac growing up, my mom, she left her phone out. She left our home phone out on a chair while she was like working on the rocks in the front yard or something. She was decorating stuff. And then the neighbor kids came over and I guess they used our phone. I wasn't paying attention. I was too busy playing in some like clubhouse or something. And like the kids, they like used our phone to prank call the police, and then the police randomly showed up and we were confused. Like all of us were super confused, and then they said that they got a call, but the kids that were out and playing kind of nearby like disappeared just before they got there. And yeah, I found out later that they prank called the police, and the police were really upset about that, of course. I was really like angry about that because I kind of knew how serious that could be. at the time. At least I was like educated enough to know that that's not in any circumstance okay. And then that could get you in a lot of trouble. Not only that, but like the damage that it could cause. Say for instance something's actually serious happening and they go on a call and it's a prank call. Like the whole thing was just. But to accuse a kid of prank calling, that is totally out of line. Like, that's not acceptable in any circumstance. They should just answer the call, and people should be more diligent about teaching the kids not to prank call the police, and the police should just do their job and show up. Like, what the heck? That's horrible. Yep, and by that time everything was, oh my god. I can't believe that. So it went that fast. Dang. You guys didn't even have time. That is crazy. I'm glad nobody was hurt, but what a horrible loss. It's a very horrible loss, and that's a horrible situation too. Like, oh, that's infuriating, really. Sorry you had to go through that, Aaron. That's really sucky. Just all around lame. There she is, it's Dorothy. Just dropping in for a bit. Nice. Good to see you guys. You and Gammy Loves Robin. I appreciate you guys being here. I'm probably going to be a little bit low energy tonight, especially since I'm kind of like in some other universe right now mentally. Daughter wakes me up before 6 a.m. these days, and now I'm just wiped out. I got a little bit of a break while Gammy Loves Robin was here. But like I got to sleep in until like 8 something, which is awesome. She just kind of takes over because she's amazing like that. But yeah, I'm wiped out, man. She woke me up at like, I want to say it was 5:20 this morning. It was well before Shane's alarm. She woke me up. I went out there, took care of her, and I've just been awake since. It's just ridiculous. The day never ends, you know? It's looking good, thank you. I'm tired, I get you. Well, that's good. We can all be tired together and kind of just wind down, I guess, you know? I'm happy to do that. I'm happy to wind down with you guys. Truly, I just painting away, chit-chatting here with Rin over here. She's, of course, I've got in the corner, up in the corner over there. You can see I put the little giveaway winner, Rin 143, because that's pretty gosh darn cool. Those aren't going to be super often. They're just going to come when I reach like a big milestone. So, super exciting. I'm pretty stoked about that. Still, I mean, I had a really good time. Personally, I hope everybody else did too. I will, next time though, I will make it so that I can actually like get the camera working, because I know I can. It's just the chat bot running it on the same computer. The chat bot is very, very heavy on my computer's RAM, because it's like the one monitoring the chat room, and like basically it's the bot. It's run on the computer, but it's got a lot of utilities and things on it, and it monitors for a lot of keywords and things like that. And so I think the more I have active at once, the more bogged down it gets. It'll get better though. Well, I was wondering if you're still going to be making the amiibo keychains. Yes, but I have taken quite a bit of a little break. I wanted it to be a little break, but man, I just needed a break. I have been pretty low key on it lately because I'm just trying to kind of adjust to doing this, and I've been like putting 110% into my daughter and everything like that. You know, we're trying to potty train and stuff, and so I'm just really tired by the time night rolls around, like a lot more than usual, when before I would have all this pep and all this energy, be able to go to bed late and then wake up pretty early when she would wake up, and when she woke up was honestly like 4 hours later than it is now. So now I'm just like getting up super early, and now I'm up really late, so now just trying to find the balance again. It's hard, but I'll get there. But I do have something in the works. It's called Altia Underground, and it's a Discord server that's not completed yet, but there is like early access. You can just get in there. I'll have to send you the invite. Yeah, because that is actually, I think you can do it pretty easily. I have a whole page dedicated to it, and I want to show that to you. Your update on Etsy made it seem like you've gotten in trouble for selling them. I have, yes. I did actually get in trouble for selling them. My fan art stuff is going to be completely removed from Etsy. 100%. No more Etsy, unfortunately. But I'll be relocating it. It won't be on Etsy at all. It'll be through a Discord server. It'll be kind of underground, hence the name Altia Underground. And it won't be Sunla, so I'm kind of doing a little bit of a brand split. I know it seems kind of confusing, but bear with me. I'm going to be doing Sunla for just kind of my original artwork and my original concepts, and then Altia is going to kind of keep the old style of things, like the fan art and stuff like that, and the amiibo keychains and things like that. So I have them splitting them up. So I'm rebranding, but also kind of doing a brand split at the same time. It's kind of weird. But that will be relocated, and I'm going to go ahead and drop a bit.ly link in here so that you have all of the info that you need. bit.ly/ I hope it works, because I heard that Twitch doesn't like bit.ly links. Altia info. I think that's the link right there. Okay, so if you click that link, it should take you to a page where you can actually see like all of the information on the events that had unfolded, what happened, why I've kind of shut things down, and why I'm kind of like doing the brand split. And then at the bottom of that page, you can actually click on the image, the Altia Underground, or you can click the link below it, and it'll take you to the Discord server. Then you can join. Yeah, so then from there, essentially the way that I'm going to be taking orders will be kind of informal. It'll be through Google Documents, but I can set it up just the way that I want it, and it'll be like kind of like a questionnaire. So what'll happen is when you fill out what you want through the order form, you get a copy of that in your email. I get a copy of that in my email. Then I bill via PayPal to the person who sent in or submitted their order, like an order form that's completed. And then if they can pay that amount, the bill, through their email that they have provided, then I can get started on the order and everything like that. I've been working on the terms and everything, all the conditions and stuff like that. And the cool thing about the order forms too is if it starts to get to be too much, then I can just toggle it off, and then I won't be accepting orders. But honestly, I need to have a little bit more I need to be more alive at night, and I'm not sure that's gonna happen until my daughter's like fully potty trained, until I adjust my schedule a little bit better with hers and my husband's. So like I just need to kind of find the balance again, and then I think I'll be alive enough to work on stuff in the shop, because so far I've really been putting a lot of focus on the family here, as opposed to the actual art and stuff. We've been doing a lot of stuff together. We've been spending more time together, which is awesome. But it also means that I'm a little bit less productive lately, because I am just tired. So tired. I will strike the balance eventually. It'll probably take a little bit of time, but it should happen. Okay. There we are. Yeah, so it's been a journey. Everything is taken some turns and stuff like that. It's unfortunate that I can't really do what I used to do so much anymore. But it's okay. I've come to accept it for what it is, and the interesting thing about it too was that I was already planning for a rebrand, because let's face it, the fan stuff on Etsy is not really sustainable. It's not something that I can like continue to do for a long time. It's surprising that it's even gotten this far. Some people have been taken down for much less, like, you know, so I'm very fortunate that I have been able to do it for as long as I could. But yeah, I will be moving things around. It'll be all original stuff, and just stuff like you'll see, stuff like this, the paintings and things that you'll see here that I make. So yeah, it's all changing up. Everything's different now, which is good. You know, things change. It's all good. I'm cool with it. Alright, let me think. Family should always come first, but I'm super happy you'll still be doing the amiibo keychains. Well, thank you. I'm excited to be able to do that again. Yeah, I definitely prioritize the happiness of my little family here. They mean the world to me, and like, I just want my daughter's life to be like full of activities and things, and I just want her to be able to flourish. And my husband, I want him to be able to come home to a wife who cares about him, and you know, I just want to be a good wife for him. So it's really important to me that I do that first. But yeah, I do need to, I need to get back into the art stuff. Trust me, I've been itching for it. I just need to find my balance again, because I am more tired than usual. It's just getting to be a lot, even just streaming. Every time I stream, like, you know, at this hour lately, it's just nuts because she's up. Daughter wakes me up at like 5 something lately, so It's just, oh, it's a lot. I don't know how people do that for a living. I mean, I feel like I probably could if I could just hibernate for a few days. Like, I can go long stretches of time without, like, any, like, not, I wouldn't say any sleep, but just, like, without a lot of sleep. Like, I don't really need. It's like I could go a long stretch of time, like, say I could be awake for, like, 2 days in a row, as long as I could, like, sleep for another 2 days in a row, Not to say that that's the healthiest, but I just feel like I can operate okay as long as I can catch up on sleep in some place at some point that's, like, enough to cover what I used or enough to cover, like, what I missed. But, that's really not an option for me. Not these days. I would love to do that, though. I could totally hibernate for days in a row and then just be awake. I don't like the process of transitioning from awake to asleep and asleep to awake. Like, waking up or going to bed is really hard for me. It's like I just want to keep doing what I've been doing. Like, I just want to keep sleeping if I've been sleeping, or if I'm awake, I just want to stay awake and not go to sleep. But of course, there's a balance to be found in there, and I don't think that that's really healthy. Yeah, just gotta mix up just enough paint. We're gonna try to cover as much surface as we can over here. I'm really excited about this painting. This one's a lot of fun. It's really hard to tell, but, like, just doing this on its own is actually really helping to block out the canvas underneath. It's kind of, like, really hard to see from the camera, though, because it's very, like, the canvas is super visible. Like, it's like the texture of it and everything, and the gray underpainting, the desaturation showing through is just not, like, in the water, it's just not appealing. It's not pretty. But once I kind of cover all of this up, then it should really help. I think it's good, though, that, well, you get metal prints of this one as well. I would like to, yes. I think that would be amazing, especially since the dimensions are pretty good for it. I think I might want to go through a different company, like a different print company, though, because, weirdly enough, like, the last time that I ordered metal prints, I haven't listed them yet, but, I ordered a couple of different times from this last print company called Optimal Print, based in Germany. And they're great. The first time around, they were pretty good. They were awesome. Second time I ordered from them, though, there are a couple of things that I noticed. Like, when I ordered from them, I ordered regular poster prints. Those turned out beautiful. And I ordered those metal prints. Well, the back, like, hanging mechanism that the first ones used The second ones didn't come with. They have a different wall mechanism or a different wall mounting mechanism than the first ones. And I don't know why. So there's inconsistencies there. And then also, I did notice like some of the corners are kind of bent a little bit, and I had to use a tool to kind of bend them back into shape and make them like, you know, straight, which they look good now. You wouldn't know that that happened, but it's just kind of like a mediocre job. I don't know, it was just not really what I had in mind either. The wall mounting mechanism last time was way cooler because it had the magnets and things like that to snap into the wall. And these ones don't have that. These new ones, I have to scan the instructions that go with them. It's got a name. It's like French wall mount or something like that. I don't know. I have the instructions that they sent me on how to use it, but it's definitely a cheaper thing. It's probably to kind of cut costs, cut corners a little bit. But it is absolutely a cheaper wall mounting mechanism. I might just go check out and see what other companies I can use for that. And we'll see. We'll see where that goes. But I would definitely like to do metal plate prints of this. Now I was trying to find metal plate prints as well for the last one for Guardian of the Sword, and I couldn't find anything in the right dimensions. It's honestly hard to come across anything that that has the dimensions that are correct for that. It's pretty difficult to find. The cut is just so odd. You know, this is better, like, as far as the ratio goes, the width to height. It's a little bit more workable. And there are a lot more options as far as prints go. But with the other one, it's kind of like, I want to see if I can do bookmarks, and if I have to, I might have to, I might have to put spacers if the bookmark dimensions don't work correctly for the print. So I might have to like design a spacer to kind of put, it's hard to explain, but like if for some reason it's not tall enough, I might have to take like a block here and a block here, and then like make some kind of design on the top and the bottom so that it looks centered and good as a print. But I don't know, we're not there yet. I haven't really placed the order yet. But I would like to do that. Oh boy, I'm pretty sleepy tonight. Those are all very good questions, though. It's definitely good questions. I'm excited for what's to come. I really want to transition into doing the fantasy art a lot more. I feel like it's okay. It's not going to be as lucrative, probably, at least to start, but it's where my passion is. Like, it's where my passion is at, but it's also my original stuff. So I can't really get in trouble for the original stuff, like the fan art. The fan art is just, it's playing with fire, you know? You never know. You never know what's gonna happen. You never know if you're gonna get struck. You never know if you're gonna get burned. And of course, I try to keep my hands clean. Obviously, I use my own art and everything like that, but that only goes so far. Fan art is still technically not, you know, it's still technically infringement. Even if it's, you know, your own fan art, it's still using the IP of something else, which it really sucks. I really think those laws probably need to be revamped a little bit, but you know, I'm not not the one calling the shots, so it's just easier for me to not deal with that, like on the surface, dealing with that on Etsy and stuff like that. It's been a good run though. It really has. I met a lot of really cool people along the way, and it's just been great. A lot of nice people have found me through Etsy, and I've gotten so much support on there through my fan work, and yeah. And my original art is hopefully going to do just as good in the future. I really hope. I really like that last one, but this one is already my favorite. Oh, nice! Well, you might be interested to know that I do have some plans for like the markings and the patterns of the scales going along the tail, and that is going to be inspired by, I think it's called a paradise fish. It's orange and blue. It might be hard to see, but I think this one is paradise fish. It's going to kind of have like some pattern that's like kind of like a blue with some like a little bit of orange just kind of in there. And we'll see if I can make it look good. I don't know yet quite. Like, I'm not really sure. We'll see what happens. But I'm excited about it because it's going to be, this is such a journey. I've never painted like light flittering through you know, ocean ripples and water ripples, and it's really a fun concept for me to paint because I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm not like an expert in this area. But all of these, I like them to challenge me in my abilities, because I don't know, like, I don't know, like with the last one, I've never painted a sword, and I've never painted, like, I've never physically painted fire like that looked like that, and with the one before that, the first one, Twilight Dragon, that one, I had never painted mountains before, you know? I've never painted stars. And so I was just so excited to just try those things. And I never painted, at that point, I had never painted like a dragon with its wings and everything like that. It's always just been heads, dragon heads, you know? And even then that's sparse. I've only got like 2 of those, you know, that I've actually completed. And so that was a journey for me, just learning, you know. All of it, I like it to be something new. Like, there has to be something that challenges me and makes me, like, you know, it's gonna make me think and stop and look and analyze and get confused and make mistakes and fumble. It's something about that is just kind of fun because I don't know what I'm doing, you know, and then I can turn it into something that works. And things don't always work out the way that I expect them to, which I think is part of the fun of it. It also seems like it kind of sucks, like, because people have this expectation of, like, with art, it's like, wow, you just like popped that out of your mind. This is what you were thinking, and this is what you just like popped out. And it's like, well, that's not really how it works, though. What it is just having a general vague idea, and it all starts to kind of come together just by working on it and just trying to pay attention to little things and like the fundamentals and everything like that. You want to pay attention to that stuff, because I'm really not popping this out of my imagination. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just trying, really, and I'm fumbling. And whether or not I succeed or fail is just, I don't know, it's up in the air. I haven't rehearsed, you know? I'm so scared of the ocean, but water dragons and water monsters interest me so much. Ooh. Yeah, I really like fins and just crazy looking water creatures. I think that there's something really fun and kind of mystifying about it, and their anatomy and everything like that. It's interesting. And dragons and stuff. I don't know. I always love dragons. There's no dragons I don't like. So so yeah, it's fun. As for the ocean though, like I love the ocean. I love to be in the ocean. But it is a legitimate fear. The first time I went to the beach, maybe it was the second time, I don't know. I was 7 years old, and like there was like a heavy tide, like there was a big tide coming in, and I was 7, and I was the youngest kid and probably the lightest at the time. I have a brother and 2 stepsisters. We were all at the beach with our parents, of course, because we were all children. And like we were all jumping the waves as they kind of came in. We were all like kind of standing in the shallow, like kind of a shallow area, jumping over the waves as they were coming in. And then there was this like tide it was just pulling all of the water back really, really heavy. It was getting heavier and heavier each time it did that. And that time it sucked really, really, like it took all the water and it was really fast and it was pulling me in. And my stepsisters and my brother got out and they were looking at me like I fell on the ground and I was trying to claw my way out. But the force of the water pulling back ended up just dragging me into the water, really far back. And I inhaled a whole bunch of water. And I just remember being terrified at that point. I thought I was gonna die. And then I like finally surfaced. I thought I was drowning. I had my lungs were full of water. And this is the freakiest thing ever. When I surfaced, I washed up and I had to like turn myself upside down and like all the water out of my lungs. It felt like it was never ending. All the water just coming out of my lungs. Like I felt like it should have just, like my lungs should have collapsed or given out or something. It was really, really hard on me. And then I'd gotten up and I started walking around aimlessly. And I was really confused and I was asking people because I was near a dock, but we were near a dock. But this dock looked a little bit different. And it turned out that I washed up like a mile away from my parents. And they had to have like a search party come after me. And I was scared. So like I don't know. It really does kind of freak me out after something like that happened to me, but I still really like the ocean for some reason. And the last time we went, nothing actually really happened, but we went to San Diego, and I just remember there was this spot like at the beach that we were at, and there was like this sheer drop-off point where it was just like if you just step a little bit too far, like the ground just kind of drops down, like and that scared me. I backed away from that. I stayed in the shallow water because that scared me quite a bit after I noticed that little drop off there. I really thought that it was just going to, you know, continue going on shallow for quite a while, but that wasn't the case. It's just a terrifying drop off. And I was like, well, what if you get dragged down there somehow? What if the forces of the tides and there's some kind of undertow that pulls you down? I don't know. It was so scary. So I just didn't. It's a legit fear. If only it would pop out perfectly as you imagine, you wouldn't, it wouldn't. Wouldn't that be amazing? It would be. I wish that we could just scan our brain images. That would be so cool. I love swimming in the beach, but like seeing videos of shipwrecks underwater in the dark with God only knows what creatures. Eels are my nightmare. Eels? Eels freak you out? Interesting. Well, they don't look like nice creatures. I mean, you know, that's all good. I mean, I can understand that one too. Eels don't really freak me out, but I can understand that. They look very sinister, and they're long and slimy. They have that slimy coat on them. They're kind of weird. I think they're interesting. I'll give it that. I really will. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with them. I kind of like their like super round looking eyes that just like look really crazy. That crazy look that they have kind of reminds me a little bit of my boy Brewster, my bird. He's got very, very, very round circle eyes. And he looks kind of crazy like an eel. They also have that underbite, that weird little underbite. So how does it feel fishing them up in Animal Crossing? Does it like not bleed over into video games? Like, are you okay with like that kind of stuff in video games? Or like, does that fear kind of bleed into the video game realm too? Yes, I'm not super scared of sharks. Like, I'm not going to get close to one, but I would rather ride a shark than see an eel. Wow. That's some bravery. I have eaten lots of sharks with my husband. We are strange people. Let's try to kind of mix up a really vivid blue color. But we want to make this light as well. There, yeah. Mix up this super light, super vivid blue. I'm gonna make that probably a little bit more cyan. More cyan, more whites. Okay. Let's actually make that more saturated. I want to use all the cyan. That's going on a little bit nicer, I think. I'm gonna just kind of resaturate these colors because they got kind of desaturated. The eels in Mario used to literally give me nightmares. Oh my goodness. The ones in Mario 64 that come out of the little holes. Oh my goodness. I remember those. Honestly, those ones, I never really thought of them. Wow, that's crazy. That sounds like a legitimate like a phobia. I'm pretty phobic of centipedes in particular. So, you know how I really like bugs. I really, really like bugs. Except for centipedes. Centipedes freak me the heck out. I used to, when I was younger, my family used to work on a ranch over the weekends. And the ranch owner, she had like a little bit of a centipede problem in her porch and everything like that. I didn't used to really mind too much. I didn't care about centipedes, didn't really think about them. But she would request that I move the centipedes off of her porch. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, what did the centipede do? But nothing really happened. I had to move the centipedes off of her porch in the most humane way possible because she didn't want to kill them. And I didn't want her to either. So I would get a dustpan and I would grab them up by their little tail spikes. And I would put them on the dustpan. But the thing is when you would pick them up by their little tail spikes, they coil really, really fast. They coil around. When you pick them up, they're like lightning fast. So they try to bite you. They try, and they have really crazy looking fangs underneath their heads. And it wasn't until I really thought about it in retrospect what I was doing, and how close I got to getting bit by one of those gigantic centipedes, and the fact that, you know, a reaction could have caused, well, first of all, the venom is pretty potent in those giant ones, and second, if I had a reaction, it would hospitalize and possibly kill a 7-year-old kid. So, in retrospect, after the fact, after I'd thought about it long and hard for some reason, I just became kind of phobic of centipedes. Like, I really just thought about how stupid it was for me to handle the centipedes like that myself, and how dangerous that in particular was. Even though I had done so many dangerous things on that ranch, it's not even... Like, I did so many stupid, dangerous things on that ranch that, honestly, any one of us could have died. I was probably the highest risk because I was the one who was Miss Nature Girl, and I was running away all the time and going into the forest and doing some really weird stuff, like playing with plants, playing with bugs, playing with animals and stuff like that all the time. So honestly, it's a miracle that I'm, okay. But it was just one of those things where it spooked me. It was very spooky. Eels and clowns are both my phobias. That's about it. Clowns is a common one. A lot of people hate clowns. A lot of people. There was this dude in my high school culinary arts class who was he was a part-time clown. Like, he worked as a clown. I don't know that he does that kind of stuff these days. I have no clue. But, he was a nice kid. He was nice, but this is the weird part. Get this. I actually, my brother, I think he noticed this guy, like, at some point. I'm not really sure. Because he sticks out like a sore thumb. He didn't look like a clown. No. He was at the time, he was a junior in high school, and this kid had male pattern baldness. He had his hair was receding so bad that he almost had like a cul-de-sac, you know, that like bald pattern. And he had a full-fledged goatee. Now this kid looked like he was 40 or something. I'm not even joking. But he was legitimately young. He just had really weird genetics. It's just the weirdest thing. And so he was a part-time clown. And all I really knew was kind of like what he talked about, like willingly in class. So I can't really say like too much about it, but I just thought it was the most interesting and absurd thing. This kid looked like he was 40 and he was a part-time clown for, you know, kids shows and like entertainment and stuff like that. Gross, no sane person would dress up as a clown. He, like, the weirdest thing was, like, he seemed like a really nice kid, you know, really nice dude. But he looked like he was 40. He seemed like he, you know, he seemed like he had, he seemed like he had his wits about him, like a 40-year-old. You know, he seemed like a very mature, adult, but he physically looked like it, and his demeanor was also kind of in line with that. It was just the strangest thing ever. I don't even know how to describe it. It was just the weirdest thing. Yeah, but he was quite nice. He was quite nice. A lot of people were kind of suspicious of him. My brother, in particular, was very suspicious of him because, I mean, why wouldn't you be? The kid looked like he was 40. He was balding. I had never seen anything like it. You know, he was the only kid that looked like that. But it was his genetics, apparently. I mean, he didn't have wrinkles or anything. He didn't have, like, bad skin. So, like, if you looked at him really close, like, pretty much the only tells that made him look old were, like, his super full goatee that was, like, trimmed like a perfect goatee. And then the balding. Like, that was it. But there weren't, like, wrinkles. He just looked like an old kid. It was the weirdest thing. He had to be hiding something. Like, he's a clown, you know, maybe. I don't know. He seemed nice though. He had a girlfriend, I remember, and she was a nice girl. And she looked like, I don't know, she looked like kind of a mature woman, but like not, you know, she didn't look like a little girly girl. She just looked like, you know, kind of on par with him a little bit, but still probably like an actual high schooler. Like, she could be passable as like a high schooler, but he didn't look like a high schooler. Not at all. Very weird stuff, man. That's all I have to say. Scattering of lights. We want to work on the scattered lights, and then I want to lighten this part up just around the turtle just a little bit. Okay. I think I want to keep that going just a bit. Maybe add a little bit more, but yeah, I understand the suspicion. Maybe he really was 40. I mean, you know, I guess, I don't know. He looked, the kid looked old. It didn't make any sense. All of our alarm bells were just going off in our heads, you know, like we're all just like, is this a kid or is this like a grown adult? Like, you know, just weird stuff. It's just so weird. But like I said, I mean, he was nice. He was a nice kid. Had a very like mature demeanor, and just I know that doesn't really help the case at all. It doesn't really help the case, but he was a pleasant person. He was a pleasant person, and then you learned that he's a clown. And then you learned that, yeah. I never saw him in uniform, if it's any consolation. Besides that, though, I have, I do remember, I have, a memory of a clown somewhere, like the mall or something that we saw. And that clown was super nice. Maybe it was at the Renaissance Fair. They actually let me go on the clown stilts when I was a little kid, which I thought was really cool, and they were super nice. So, I mean, I understand the weirdness about clowns, especially since there are a lot of really weird clowns. But you know, they're not all that weird. They're a little weird. But you know, it's like the job that they sign up for is just being weird, I guess. I don't know. I haven't really seen clowns lately, like real ones. Have you seen real clowns lately? Because I certainly haven't. Where would they even be? Who hires clowns? That's what I want to know. Like, okay, so do people actually hire a clown for some kid's birthday party? Like, do moms do this? I need to know. I need answers. Could you imagine? I really struggle to see the usefulness or the purpose of like just clowns. Yeah, crazy people. But like it just, you know, nobody goes, "Hey, we need a child entertainer. We need a clown." Like, is that real? Because I don't see it. Like, like, you know, but somebody has to employ them for them to even have jobs to begin with. I have seen them at the mall, and I've seen them at the Renaissance Fair, and it's probably the only times I've ever seen like real clowns in my entire life. So it just begs the question: who hires these people? Who the heck? Who the heck hires these people? I just really don't even know. I don't know why anyone would do that. Like, because what do? They like juggle and they ride a unicycle, I guess. They're being replaced by YouTube, so I guess that's a good thing. Give me those ramen. Oh my god, I'm cracking up. What is their use? What is the point? It's 2020. Do away with the clowns. We don't need the clowns anymore. All done. No more 15-year-old, 40-year-old clowns. You know what I mean? Like, we can just do away with the clowns and we won't miss them. It's okay. Really. It's hilarious. I mean, you know. The kids have the smartphones now, you know? We can just not hire hire 16-year-old Billy. That's not his name, but you know. Like, I'm not gonna dox the dude. I would say the kid, but you know, time has passed, and also even if he actually was a kid back then, he's definitely not now. My gosh, it's been like probably a decade, like over a decade since I graduated, so it's been over a decade since I've seen him. So, now I'm starting to wonder what he could possibly look like in 2020. Does he look like he's 70 now? Like, I'm just really curious. Or did the aging just kind of stop and just plateau? Like, what if the aging just kind of plateaued and just stopped? Like, what if he just looked like he's 40 forever? Or what if he looks like he's really, like, much older now? Like, I'm just, you know, I'm sure he wouldn't be hard to look up and just, like, go see on the Facebook. On the Facebook. But you know, I don't know if I want to, but I'm also just suddenly really curious. Now that I'm thinking about, you know, Kid Clown over here. Clowns are creepy, but I'm glad to help make you laugh. Maybe he'll come to the reunion as a clown. So they tried to do a reunion last year in like December, and I brought it up to Shane, and he's like, eh. And he didn't want to do it, so I didn't go. There was supposed to be a reunion though, and apparently a lot of people didn't go. So, you know, that'll happen in the pandemic. It was also before the vaccines rolled out, and it was when things were kind of like getting back to just, you know, shutting down stuff again. So, I mean, it's all a blur now, you know. Hopefully it didn't get too much worse. Yeah. Yeah, I have no idea. Not a clue. I just think it was such an odd thing. My brother, he would always, I remember like in high school, he would always like secretly make fun of the kid, and I was just like, he's a nice kid, I don't know, like, I wouldn't have called him like a friend of mine or anything like that, but, you know, he was an acquaintance in, some of my classes. I think one of my classes I shared with him, it was culinary arts. I think it was the only class. But you know, he's just, he was polite, so I didn't really have anything, anything to say about him, but I just thought it was so funny that my brother always had something, like, he always had some kind of clap at this dude, like, it was just so hilarious. He always had something to say about, you know, the balding kid, the kid with the goatee, the clown boy. Like, after I told him that the kid was a clown, he would, like, not stop. It was, like, so funny. Like, not trying to encourage it or egg him on, you know, or anything like that. But it was just, you know, it's unfortunate, dude. Like, I would hate to have genetics like that. I might not have the best genetics in the world, but it would just suck, you know, like, to be in high school and to look like you're 40. Holy crap. That's, like, serious misfortune. genetic misfortune. I think that I want to just use straight, like, cyan here. Okay, I'm making the ocean appear quite a bit more saturated and pretty. It would be good if the clown is not aging rapidly. But my curiosity, actually, I wonder if he's like actually on my Facebook, on my original profile. The one with my like real name. I only abandoned that a couple years ago, but I do have a lot of people on there who were like high school acquaintances and stuff like that, so I'm sure he's probably on there. I remember he was on my MySpace. He like randomly added me on MySpace. Yeah. Good times. Olden days. I liked MySpace. I liked it so much. I used to actually design a lot of themes for people. Let me just try to... I'm trying to like fix the camera. Sorry guys. The view is a little odd, I think. That's a little bit better, hopefully. It'll kind of get back into view. Like that. I think that's a little better. Okay. I loved MySpace though. Yeah, there were like some cool places where you could like upload your CSS. So like if you coded and you like wrote like some really nice themes like in HTML or CSS, you could upload them to these websites that would host those, where people could actually like, you know, download your thing. You could upload it with a name, and then it would track how many people are using your theme. And I managed to get like, I don't know, I was pretty new at it, but I managed to get a few hundred people using some of my like Kirby themes. To get this paint, I can use the boots to kind of like go up here, and then this go around here, and then we're just like, I'm just winging it. I don't know what's going on, but I think I'm doing this okay. It's hard to say. I don't know what I'm doing. Let's see how it looks over here. Looks pretty okay, I guess. If I use like just cyan, like just straight up cyan, then what? It's like too dark, I think. Yeah. Now, I need more music for my playlist, so if anybody has any like video game music recommendations, please feel free to put them in my whispers. I am like totally okay and happy with taking recommendations. Yeah, I'm totally happy to take recommendations, and I would actually be very appreciative. I could get that to go on a little bit smoother, that'd be great. I need a little bit of subtractive process over here, so let's kind of bring this in, darken that a little bit. We'll sharpen it. Just a bit. Looks a little sharper. Nice. Very cool. Yeah, I do love this playlist, and I'm sure I'll keep pretty much everything that's on here, but I could always use some more jams. I think it's kind of running stale right now. I'm sure there's more I can add. I can sit there and think about all the different tracks that I could use. But I wonder if there are any really good soundtracks or particular songs or music that would just be really nice to hear. There we go. So, if I take some of this, take some of the cyan, mix it all up, and go like. I think that I should just, should be able to kind of, what if I do this? That, I take this, and I go, yeah, that works, I suppose. I don't know what I'm doing, really. Yeah, I'm not super chattery right now, but hopefully you guys don't mind. Kinda just chilling right now. Go, just kind of blend that cobalt blue into there. And just kind of make that pattern a little bit more prominent. Sounded like my phone went off. What could that be? It's Duolingo! It's Duolingo telling me that my hearts are full again. Which implies that I messed something up, but I don't remember what I did. Probably misclicked. Duolingo is pretty aggressive with the notifications. Today they told me I dropped out of Gold League. I don't know what that is. Or I dropped down to Gold League or something. And it's like, I don't even know what that is, Duolingo. I just want to use your service to learn. Like, I'm not trying to compete with people over here, you know what I mean? Like, it's not a competition to me. I'm just trying to learn Chinese. It's starting to look a little bit more like water, I think. Now, if I take these and I use this color, possibly, maybe a little bit of that mixed with a tiny bit of white. No, I don't think so. Probably get that mixed with. There we go. There. That's starting to work out a little bit. Very, very gray and kind of green over here. Boy, I'm ready for sleeping. It's only 1. I've got another hour to go. Quite a bit darker. Then I can start using lights. I think I'll probably redo the light in that area. Unless I just leave it out of there, that's possible too. It's nice to do a second layer of color though, because it's actually coming out a lot more rich this way. Second layer of color is really helpful. It's really helping me out. Definitely necessary. Pretty soon here, I'm probably gonna at least take like a little bit of a pour date. Maybe once this paint dries up over here. I'm just about on the last little bit of paint. And this particular palette, we are just using up what is already left. I'm not going to squeeze anything new onto the palette until I have taken a little bit of a break. Just gonna use it all up. I don't like to be wasteful with my paints at all. Just need this to be kind of the same hue over here. That's going to be a little bit hard to achieve with what little I have left. Yeah, coffee break for sure. I'm thinking about it, but I don't think I should dip into the coffee as much as I really want to, and I love coffee. I feel like I should probably go like, I don't know, drink some water and walk around or something, because I want to be able to sleep pretty much as soon as I'm done here, because my husband is expecting me to go into the room and he's probably gonna wake up and go, why aren't you here? If I'm like all crazy and I'm wired and I don't go to sleep, especially since I know I will be miserable tomorrow if I don't sleep. Which coffee will just do me. I'll just be in this depressing, too awake to go to sleep, but too sleepy to enjoy anything state of mind. I'm sure that's probably a little bit relatable, at least for some people, because I have heard other people also have the same issue before, so it would be shocking to me if nobody knew what the heck I was talking about. Oh my gosh, straight up cyan on there though. That looks like kind of pearly. That looks kind of nice. It does need to be a little bit diluted with some other colors. I almost said some other coffee, so you know what I'm thinking about right now. You know what's on my mind. Coffee. Of course. Why wouldn't it be? At the late hours of 1 a.m. Yeah, all my paint's drying up. I can't really do much with this until I come back and continue on, I guess. Yup. So I suppose it's time for me to take a little bit of a break. Yeah, coffee is good, but when you gotta get some sleep. Yeah, but you gotta get some sleep for sure. Yeah, I agree with you. I think that the sleep is super necessary, especially since I know my daughter is going to be awake in like 4 hours. I'm kind of, you know, the day ahead of me, it's gonna kill me. I'm gonna be so tired. It's okay though. I'll get through it. I just need to adjust my hours. If she consistently does this full waking up at 5 to 6 a.m. thing, I might have to shift the live stream so that it's like a tad earlier because she falls asleep at a good hour. So I think it's more doable to do it in like, late evening, but not like 11 p.m. evening. That's super late. So yeah, so I'll be right back, you guys. 4 a.m. Yeah, for you, man. That's crazy. That's just nuts. Yeah. Pulling the all-nighters. That's my jam, dude. That's what I love. If I didn't have to wake up at 5 a.m. Alright, you guys, I'll see you in I think 10 minutes. Yep. Yay! Night fire theme! Thank you, Erin. Alright, let's see if I can straighten this out. There we go. Alright, awesome. Yeah, so let's get back at it. I really resisted the urge of getting coffee. I literally stood there and looked at the coffee in the fridge, and I was just like looking at it for a second. I'm like, don't do it. And I didn't do it. I didn't actually do it this time, but but knowing me, like, you know, that's just what I do when I do my little breaks. Usually that's the first thing I go for is the coffee, because the coffee, it wakes me back up, and it's like I'm peppy and stuff and ready to get back into it and everything like that. But I don't need it tonight. I mean, I'm not like super peppy or anything like that, but you know, I really should refrain so that I can actually sleep like a normal person. Oh, pretty, I was wondering what it did. Nice. Yes, thank you so much. Yeah, it's a theme that I designed for the backdrop. Unfortunately, it doesn't work for the break screen, but I can switch it over to the break screen manually. So I do have like a separate instance for the we're on break. But if it's on like the regular, like it has to be ongoing live or on this live screen in order to switch over. So I would have to do it manually. So if somebody had switched it over before the break, I could like switch it over manually. But yeah. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. I love using all the little different features and things that you can plug into your Twitch. I'm using a third-party software. It's sort of software. It's sort of a plugin that's like a web socket, I guess is what it's called. And it's a plugin for OBS, which is the broadcasting software that I use to stream to Twitch, and it's really neat. Like, so there's this backdoor sort of like WebSocket plugin sort of thing that works with a third-party thing called Triggerfire, and it's just awesome. You can do all sorts of customized stuff with it. Oh, maybe I'll do it soon next time. Nice. That would be cool. That would be cool, yeah. And then I could do the break screen with the Nightfire theme. Yeah, so the original theme is basically the same thing as this, except this is a recolor. So it's like a video that I put together. Both of them are videos with my art in the back, and then just like this cool little effect on it. And I loved it so much, and I was just like, how can I implement a second theme? And I just had the idea, and I'm just so happy with the way that it turned out and that people actually enjoy it. It's little, it's very small, and it's subtle, but it's kind of awesome. Especially at night, it kind of captures the mood a little bit better, I think. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I just love that you can do all sorts of rewards with Twitch. That's why I was so excited to start streaming on actually like Twitch. I was like not sure at first. Like I was trying to stream to Facebook for a little while when I had first started, and that wasn't going well. I was having technical difficulties left and right, and nobody could seem to help me. And then I decided to try out Twitch, and oh my gosh, the amount of features and things is just unbelievable. I was like, why didn't I try this before? Well, Twitch is my new home. There are just so many different things you can do. You can do this, the rewards and stuff like that and have them redeem like that. It's awesome. I love it. I love it here. I love all the people here. It's just really awesome. Let's try and get like a little bit of like a glowy looking sort of effects. I want to see if I can mix that with some cyan, white and cyan. Wow, that doesn't really quite go on there the way that I thought it would. So let's try this. Nope. So here's another station. We're gonna use water. And just wet the canvas again. So now all of the paint and the layers of paint are sucking up the water. And while that layer of gesso is helping just a little bit, it's still dehydrated. And it's still hard to work with. So I'm just gonna quickly wet that surface there. And then I should be able to work with it a little bit better now. Hopefully. Oh yeah, that's definitely workable. I think we need it to be a little bit lighter. Definitely need some water on the canvas to just kind of water on the water. Water on the painted water, the fake water. I almost forgot, oops, I bumped into the camera. I almost forgot my mom is already saying she's going to take the heart of the dragon pin I won. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Your mom is hilarious. What a goob. Hey, you won that fair and square. There's nothing she can do. Nothing in the world that she can do. That is your prize, little missy. I can't believe that my husband's mom almost won it. Like, what would we have done then? It's so funny, you know? It's great. She already had plans that we would lump it together with the Mother's Day gift that we had for her. She was ready to win that prize. She was ready. Almost, man. That was close, dude. But you know what? There's always next time. So for the people who haven't won, or even for yourself, Erin, if you want to continue to enter in the future giveaways, that is always an option. It'll be so much fun. Honestly, I'm really excited for it. bit of white. Looks kind of like too rigid. I can mix this white with this cyan, and then I can take this and then go like that. Make that all bright, and then this. All this all bright. Or pull it down with a shop towel. I don't know. I don't know what I want to do with this. There's too much water. I can't work with it. It's such a tricky balance to find. It's a really tricky balance. That needs more cyan. It's hard to tell with the saturation over here. Like, it's hard to tell. I think on the camera, but it's definitely visible from here. There we go. I bought one a while ago and she's like, you don't need two, and I told her I could put one in each item bag. I agree, it was so much fun. I was thinking that too, see, because I had recalled that you bought one before, and I was thinking, man, she's gonna have two of those. And then I remembered that you had actually mentioned that you had item bags, like multiple. In one of the streams you had mentioned it, and I actually had to look up what item bags were because I actually didn't know. And you had mentioned that they were for pins and stuff, and I had seen some pretty cool ones after looking them up. They look really great. I think I gotta get myself an item bag. Do you have any recommendations on where to like get them? Like best recommendations for me? I would be super grateful. I'm thinking affordable, super cute. I had seen some custom dragon ones too, and I was like, oh, that's so cool. Not only would I like to get my hands on something like that, I wish I could make something like that. Like an item bag. It's just such a cool concept. That should help a little bit. Let's see. Alrighty. And then, lastly, I want that to blend well, but I need to mix up a little bit more paint over here. My timer says it's 1:30, which means we have half an hour left. just a half an hour. You know what? That's a half an hour. Oh my gosh! I've been playing more Monster Hunter. During the day, my daughter gets mad at me because she can't take over my Switch for YouTube. She likes to watch, you know, like Blippi and stuff. She's been pretty mad because I've been kind of taken over. So I can play Monster Hunter. Basic item bags, you can get pretty good quality ones from AliExpress. Ooh, I was kind of thinking about looking on AliExpress. I think that I did at some point, but I wasn't really sure about the quality because I don't know what to look for really. But that sounds great. That sounds awesome. I like to order a lot of things overseas. I like to order AliExpress stuff. It's right up my alley. Ha 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 ha. Don't kill me. Alright, so we're gonna use cyan to kind of like get these kind of like wavy looking waves. Wavy looking waves. Apparently. Wavy looking waves. Okay. I think if I use like varying width strokes, then I can get kind of a more rippled effect. Like, kind of like drawing. Okay. Kind of like drawing, Ariel. Don't forget it. Don't forget it. Yeah, okay. Okay, there we go. There's that. I've been playing that Monster Hunter lately, and I'm at like Hunter rank 5, I think. I finished fighting that gigantic fish monster. I forget its name. Actually, it's like the only one that I can't remember for some reason. It's like a big old mudfish. Yeah, I'm working on high rank quests in the hub. And maybe eventually, when my brother has some time, he would like to hunt that thing with me because I'm trying to get its armor set. I'm actually almost done, and I think I actually might have all the stuff for it right now. I just had to stop playing a little bit earlier. But there is a possibility that it's actually all ready to go. And I'm just, you know, I haven't actually checked yet. I think if I fix this thing here. Just kind of stain it a little bit. That. we're gonna make that a bit darker. Yep. Okay. So far, so good. So far, so good. I want to add white and cyan. Let's see how that looks. Oh, good. That's the right color. Okay, good. Well, it wouldn't be for some reason. Alright, so now I suppose we should start. Potentially, we could start the... Oh, you'll share a link on the Discord. Nice. Basic eye bags, you can get pretty... Oh, I already read that one. But I have two that I paid way too much for. I love them and I'm excited to get them. Ooh. Item bags that you paid a lot for new ones that haven't arrived yet? That sounds wonderful. That sounds lovely. I sure do love ordering stuff for myself online and for my daughter too. I love to see like the little toys come in and just how everything looks and in person. Shopping online is kind of fun. Really like buying stuff for my daughter online. Just like, I don't know, it's almost like I'm getting a toy for myself, but it's just a toy for my daughter, and it's like I watch her play with like, you know, things that I get her, like when I got her little tour chick and stuff like that. It's just so awesome and so sweet. Gammy Loves Robin got her a Scizor toy because she loves the Pokemon Scizor. Like, absolutely loves the Pokemon Scizor. And she's so cute, and she brought it to the park with her today, and she shared it with some other little girls. She's so sweet. She just like walks up to these little girls and she hands them Scizor. It's like her prized possession, you know, like it's just such a sweet thing. I know how much it meant to her to do that. Yeah, okay. So it's looking a little bit more vivid from what it was. I think that I might want to kind of fix that up a little bit over there. I just want to fix that up. We need the light coming from like actual light. It can't just be beaming from darkness. So there needs to be like some bright source of the glimmer that kind of comes through there. And then I I want to go over the seaweed again a little bit because I feel like it's a little bit too green. And I feel like there should be a little bit of bloom in there to kind of counterbalance it. Okay, so let's actually kind of like go along some of the edges with like cyan or something. I think that'll help. I think just like hugging the edges with like cyan will help kind of help that. I really like this track. That is so sweet. Yeah. She was being really sweet. Okay, so there were like 3 girls that she played with today, and like they didn't really talk pretty much at all. And they came to the park and everything like that. They seemed like super shy. But Robin like walks up to them and hands one of the girl that looked closest in age to her. She handed the scissor toy, and she just like over to the girl, and the girl was like, "What is this?" And she tries to hand it back, and then Robin like shows her like, "This is why this is special, right?" Like she's trying to show her the toy, and then she hands her the toy again, and she's like all smiling and being all sweet. She's like giggling and stuff, and she was just being such a lamb. The whole entire time, just so sweet to other kids. Yeah, she was excited to see other little girls. Right? It's so adorable. She was being so sweet. Yeah, she's got the sharing thing down pat. She's been doing really good with sharing her toys and stuff like that, which I didn't think would come easy at all considering she's an only child. And she was like so good about it that she handed off the scissor and she did not ask for it back once. Like she was letting the girl hold it like the entire time. And of course we got it back at the end there, but she was like being very, very nice about it. She's just letting her hold it. And the girl, she tried to return it a couple of times, and then Robin is like, "Aw," and she gives it a hug, and then she gives it back to the other little girl, and she's just like, you know, letting her play with it the whole time, letting her play with it in the sand, and like she's just being really sweet about it. Oh, she sounds like a sweetheart. Thank you. She's such a lamb. She's such a lamb to other kids, I guess. Like, I guess she beats the crap out of me, but she's also sweet. She has her moments, and she has her different sides of her, of course, because she's a person, and people are multifaceted. But yeah, she's really awesome. She's been doing really good about that, about sharing, about just being sweet to other kids, and yeah, when I take her out, man, she's just been really good. I was really thinking with the COVID lockdowns and stuff, and since I've been like kind of depriving her of like interaction with other kids, and I felt so horrible for it, that she just wouldn't know what to do. But honestly, she's been the most well-behaved. When I take her out of here, she's been the most well-behaved kid. I don't know what happened, you know. And Gammy took her out, I don't know, a few weeks ago, and it wasn't that way, but you know, I really don't know. She's just been really good to other kids lately. I think maybe she just had a moment. maybe just a bad day or something. Gotta add a lot of blue to this. It looks kind of electric. The blue. Blue looks so... I'm really glad I'm adding blue. It's kind of adding like this dynamic. It's working out really well. It has to be cyan. Because if it's any other blue, it's just not going to work. Because this is a very, very vivid green. It's a super vivid green color, and so it calls for a very saturated blue. Also, the colors of the water, it just needs to reflect. She was nice to the other kids. She was just a little overwhelmed. Oh yeah, she was probably like ready for nap time or something. I don't know. She seems to get really excited with other kids around. But yeah, like it's just, yeah, when she's ready to go down though, like she gets overwhelmed really easy. If she's like kind of tired, like if it's that time of day that she's like starting to kind of lull, just kind of get more sleepy and stuff, I feel like that's a very strong possibility that she will just act out no matter what. Definitely. I was just really happy to see her like playing so nice with the other kids. It's just, it's good, especially after that whole lockdown and everything. Yeah, no, it's just nice. Real nice. So, for the leaves kind of like in the back, I need to use just cyan on cyan. Just cyan over the blue, like cyan on the blue. And then it should just pop out. It should just look kind of like a faint shadow in the water. Now I need to kind of like make this water over here a little bit more. It needs to be like this, can't be super thin. The paint on there is so thin that the gray is showing through pretty bad. That gray underpainting. So let's get ourselves a little bit of painting in between the leaves over here. And I can kind of patch up the parts that I need to later, I guess. If I need to. We'll see it. We'll see. We'll find out. It's almost like she wants to take care of them. Yeah. It seems like that. She's just really sweet. I don't know. She's just, I think she's really trying to make friends. And she likes to kind of spread the good feels. Like, I've noticed lately, like, she'll just have her moments where she's just like, I love you, just out of nowhere. And it's so sweet because it gets me to smile and everything. And I'm just like, I love you too. And then, like, you know, we hug, and then she goes, aww. Like, she makes, like, this little sound, like, aww. That's so sweet. She's adorable. I don't know. I think she just really likes the good feels. She wants to be on everybody's good side. She wants to be friends with everyone. And she always was like that, even when she was a baby, and I would take her to the park and stuff. She was, I remember the first girl that she played with was quite a bit older than her. She was pretty much still a baby. Um, and this girl, like, she shared her toy. Like, Robin kind of shared her toy. Like, she was a baby. She just didn't really know. I can't remember. Or maybe she didn't even have a toy. Maybe I didn't even bring one with. I thought I brought the little pink owl, but maybe not. But the other little girl, she had a toy. I remember this part. And the mom wanted her kid to share the toy with Robin. And Robin played with the toy a little bit. And she was a baby, you know, she wasn't really thinking of like sharing or anything in depth, but she was just super happy to have made a friend. And this girl was like begrudging, like she was not happy to share her toy with Robin. And then she threw sand at her. She threw sand at Robin's head. When Robin was not even looking, and Robin was still smiling, like happy and blissfully, just unaware that this girl's, you know, really upset that her toy is, like, you know, in the hands of some random baby, and she's like throwing sand at her. And so, like, Robin was just smiling and happy because she thought she made a friend and everything like that. I'm like, oh my gosh, bless her heart. She's just so sweet. She was just so happy and smiling at the girl when, like, and I don't know. It was just ridiculous because this girl was just so mad at her and she just didn't know. She's just so happy. It was like, it was so weird and, like, I don't know, it made me feel kind of awkward because I'm like, oh my gosh, Robin is so sweet. And I'm like, this is just what's gonna happen, you know, people are just not going to take super kindly to her and there's nothing that you can do. It's like, that's a concept that's kind of difficult for kids, you know? She was just being really sweet. That's it, man. Adorable and then sweet. Just happy to make a friend. We are approaching time. We have like 7 minutes. 7 minutes. I pretty much worked on for the most part this time. I pretty much just worked on like the ocean and just trying to get the vividness of the blue. It's very hard to see on camera because the camera really picks up the color a lot more than the eye, but it is so much more saturated now. We're kind of drowning out that gray underpainting there, which is awesome because I wanted that gone. Yeah, so that's really exciting. And then I suppose next time we can actually start getting, we can start probably the color around here. I want to try and get like the pattern and the color correct. In fact, I might just kind of start like sketching out like just some lines and things to kind of like follow the pattern that I'm thinking of, that I want like the orange to kind of go into. And of course, it's not going to be like a perfect symmetrical thing. We want it to look very organic. yeah, if we can get that pattern mapped out, then it might be easier for us next time. Because it'll just be kind of like just a hint of orange. And this dragon is going to be like a blue-green, like iridescent color. That's what I want it to be. I want it to be like blue with like an iridescent green. That's kind of what I'm thinking anyways. I suppose it's hard to say right now because I don't know if that's gonna like blend in too much, but I suppose if I make it like different enough, well, we'll see how it goes, I guess. So then if I like add in some kind of like negative space pattern over here, kind of draw that in there. This is gonna be fun. Well, thank you. So vulnerable, yeah. I want it to be like very organic, very just like the shapes. I just want the shapes to be kind of like what you might see on a fish or a reptile. And then these spaces here would be like orange, and then it would be like a blue with an iridescent green kind of color. And so I'm gonna start studying some iridescent objects to see how they reflect light and everything like that. I think I have an idea of what to do, but I'm not entirely sure. So I think it would just be really wise for me to study images a lot better so I know exactly what I'm doing. So we're gonna also have them on the wings of it too. Kind of like something like a pattern that looks like that kind of goes down. It would be something akin to that. We'll see. Yeah, it's hard to say exactly right now, but I think something like this is probably gonna work just fine. And then I also kind of need to study how like the reflection of the glimmers like appears on three-dimensional objects. So that's going to be also another thing to think about and worry about. Oh, this is gonna be a hard painting, but you know what? It's gonna be so much fun. And getting into the actual dragon itself is just gonna be... wonder if I can make that a little bit more sharp. Possibly. At least that one side. And then the other side can be more rounded. And then we can decide. Like if you can imagine like an orange and then blue in the surrounding areas. And I think that's pretty much all the time we have for tonight. I appreciate you guys being here and hanging out with me and talking about the ocean and clowns and all those fun things. Eels, oh, what else did we talk about? Centipedes? Yeah. It's been a blast. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate you very much. And it is officially time for me to get some sleep. I need sleep in my life. Sleep sounds wonderful and lovely and awesome. So I hope you guys have a good night. Bye, everybody!